The Central Region Security Council has appealed to the IGP to step up security in parts of the region ahead of the 2020 elections. It follows what the council says as worrying developments in the Jumako, Enyan, Isiam and the Awutu Senya East constituencies. Correspondent Richard Kojo Nyako has more.
The regional minister, during the IGP's tour of the region, indicated to him areas that the IGP should intensify efforts in its operations to avert activities that are likely to breach the peace the region is enjoying. Kwamna Duncan speaks first on the Jumako Enyan constituency.
In the registration period, you had macho men being brought in, and I won't blame one side. It's like everybody wants to have the bigger part of the turf, and so some amount of breach of the law was reported, and I cannot place my finger firmly on the fact that we're going to have it free or we're going to have it easy in the election period.
For the Awutu Senya East constituency that includes Kaswa, the head of the Regional Security Council says that constituency is already a hotbed of criminal activities, and the recent events during the registration gives him cause for worry.
It's become like a port where anything that relates to crime, you find it. Because the daily report that I get from Commander, most of the crime activities, that's where it comes from. So it's become like a ready enclave where if people with crime-minded agenda want to recruit, they're able to get them. Whichever, whether to knock down somebody, whether to hit at an opponent, and all of that. It's easy to recruit such individuals.
Various duties, human and administrative errors do occur. We wish to state unequivocally that we have the ability and the competence to fix and resolve all the outstanding issues with the register. And we are doing so in an open, transparent, and accountable manner. Indeed, to date, a significant number of the issues identified at the start of the exhibition exercise have been resolved. We continue to work to reduce the deficit to the barest minimum. And we are confident that at the end of the process, we will bequeath Ghanaians with a register that reflects truth and light, a register that is credible, and a register that has integrity. This is the spirit and letter of the just ended exhibition exercise. I'd like to turn my attention to the exhibition statistics. In my last address, I emphasized that the Commission fully upholds the view that central to free, fair, transparent, and peaceful elections is credible and accurate data. To achieve this objective, it is vital that every eligible citizen is provided the opportunity not only to register as a voter, but to verify his or her details. As such, over the last 10 days, citizens have been afforded the opportunity to verify their details to ensure that they are first of all captured in the register, and secondly, that their details such as sex, age, name, etc. are accurate. The exhibition was largely successful as it afforded the Ghanaian the opportunity to verify their details. Additionally, it enabled the Commission to address the gaps in data and fix and resolve the issues along the way. It is important to emphasize that the omission of names in some polling stations was widespread. I did mention this before, but it's important that we emphasize on that again. It was not concentrated in particular regions or districts. I'm happy to state that 600, in terms of verification, 698,404 voters verified their details using the Commission's SMS short code. I'm happy to state that 698,404 404 voters verified their details using the Commission's SMS short code. Similarly, 7,271,498 voters verified their details physically at our exhibition centers. Combined, this translates to 7,969,887 persons who verified their voters during the who verified their details during the 2020 provisional voter exhibition exercise. This constitutes 46.9% of the total number of voters in the provisional register. I think I'd like to mention that in 2016, we had 45.6% of the voters verifying their voters as part of the exhibition exercise. The difference here is that with this particular exhibition, we had 46.9% verifying their details over a 10-day period. In 2016, we had 45.6% of the voters verifying their details over a 21-day period. I'll now turn my attention to the resolution of the errors in the register. As I outlined earlier, no registration process is foolproof. As such, some errors were unearthed during the exhibition process. We, however, worked throughout the process to resolve a majority of the issues on the provisional voters register. To date, the total number of persons reflected on the provisional voters register stands at 17,007,726 persons. This is an increase of some 44,420. If you look at the manual figures that were collated, and you look at the figures, what we have in the current register now, we have an increase of 44,420. However, we still have a deficit of some 7,515. I must emphasize that the deficit constitutes 0.0004% of the total provisional voters register. However, that is not to say that we are not committed to reducing the deficit to the barest minimum. We will not relent, but continue to work to ensure that everyone who registered is counted as part of the register. As a commission, we will spare no effort in ensuring that every vote counts. It is important to inform citizens about the reason for the initial shortfall. The registration of voters is done using the biometric registration devices at the polling stations. Thereafter, the data is then transmitted to the data center, where it undergoes the process of
Jane Mensah is chairperson of the Electoral Commission, coming to you live from the Commission's The Citizens Must Know series. There, she talked about the number of people who verified their details, summing it up to 7,969,887. And she goes on with the details of what has been done with the problems that came up, and that was what she was doing.